And so to want to hurt my own baby was scary and hard. And sometimes I would want to hurt myself or even kill myself during this time.
My name is Elisa, and this is my experience with postpartum depression. When I had my baby, I was really looking forward to feeling that like sudden rush of love that I've heard a lot of women talk about, or even like feel like I've had a spiritual experience, because I've heard a lot of women talk about it that way. But for me, I don't know if part of the reason was I ended up having to do kind of an emergency C-section, but I was very like drugged up, I think was part of it. And then when they handed me my baby and they put her under my arm and rolled me back to my room, all I felt was, oh, this is my baby. And it's taken me a while, but I realized that I really didn't get that rush of love, if I'm totally honest. And it took a while to naturally love her. I think out of like duty, I loved her in a way, but the feeling of love naturally for my baby came probably closer to 6 months. And that's not even a long time for a lot of women that experience postpartum depression. I know some that have it for like even up to 2 years, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about what it was like for me, in case there's others that relate and want to feel like they're not alone in this, because I did feel quite alone. It's hard not to feel isolated in our culture, but I also want to share like what I did to overcome it. And I don't know for sure if any of the things I did helped me to get through the postpartum depression in 4 or 5 months, or if it just naturally went away by itself. But I do think the things that I did helped. And so, yeah, that's what I want to share. So first, my postpartum lasted about 4 to 5 months, kind of trickled off after that. So maybe it lasted a little bit longer, but it was a lot better after 5 months, especially. But besides not really feeling love for my baby, I was pretty much in a constant state of anxiety. And that was very hard, obviously, especially around nighttime, putting her down. I was just so terrified of her waking up, which of course sounds maybe silly, but when you have anxiety and these fears are coming to your mind and you're not sleeping well because you have a newborn baby, it all just kind of adds on top of each other. And I couldn't be alone because I would panic. Dang it. Of course, my camera's falling as I'm getting vulnerable, right? Can't handle the truth, right? Let me see. Is that still in a good spot? Yeah. I would panic when I was alone, and my husband, he worked from home for about 2 weeks when she was first born. He did not have time off, but he had, because he just works at a small firm, but he was able to work at home for 2 weeks, and then after that he went into the office, and I was really falling apart. I had to go to my mom's house, which luckily she's only 10 minutes away. And one of the biggest miracles during this time was his work gave him permission to stay home as long as he needed after that to work from home. I'm so grateful for that, because there'd be days where I couldn't change her diaper. I couldn't even hold her because it was just because of the postpartum depression and this heaviness and just feeling so detached from her and so hard to love her kind of a thing. And I felt like she was attacking my life. I know some women feel like their babies are possessed. I didn't feel that, but I felt like my life was ruined because of her. I think part of that is I'm in my 30s. This is my first baby. I'm now 34, but I had her when I was 33. And I think I just established such a life. And so this was such a big change after having such a long adult life, without any kids. And so I just felt like I couldn't have time with my husband like I used to. And I couldn't sleep like I used to. And so it just felt like she was attacking my life. Kind of a feeling was a big part of it. Which, of course, then made me feel guilty because she's a baby. I wanted this. It's not her fault, So I felt kind of bad about that. And so that was a lot of hard to it. And my husband would still have to work late some nights, going out to some different cities that he works with. And I would have a sister come and stay with me during those times because I just really couldn't be alone. And there was even some nights when I wanted to hurt my baby. And using the self-control that I had, I was able to put her down and ask my husband to be with me while I'd nurse her in the night sometimes and things like that. But it was pretty scary to like I've never wanted to, hurt somebody before. I've been a foster mom. I'm very pro helping children. And so to want to hurt my own baby was scary and hard. And sometimes I would want to hurt myself or even kill myself during this time. I definitely empathize a lot more with people that have been suicidal now. More than I could before, because I've been there now. And I'm just so grateful that I had my husband as support people for him and for me during this time. It was very hard for him too. But he's had support too, and even now we're still kind of working through it, even though it's gotten a lot better. But yeah, it was not fun. I imagined finding a cliff to drive off me and my baby a lot, because I was like, I also know that if I just kill me and somebody has to raise this baby, like that poor baby's gonna have that trauma for always. So I was like, I should take her with me. Those are the kind of thoughts that I would have. And I would worry about other babies in the world too, like what's happening to them. Like, even though I'm struggling, I have support and I'm able to take care of this baby. And there's so many babies that just don't have good things in life. And so I would worry about other babies. It's just, it was a very, very hard couple of months. And I kind of forgot about a lot of these feelings because it's been really good. It's been really good the last number of months. So she's 11 months now. So we've had, 5 amazing months where I've loved being her mom, and it's gotten so much better. But I think because we're getting close to her 1 year, a lot of these feelings are coming back. So I'm gonna be working through them, and I've got awesome support. But as hard as this is, I was like, I want to make a video for other women. So what have I done to work through these feelings at the time? Here are the things that I've done. So having an involved support system is huge. Having family involved. People want to help you. If you're going through postpartum depression right now, I want you to know that there are people that want to help you, and not just professionals. And I even tried talking to doctors and stuff, and I just don't know if they just didn't get it. I tried to explain what I was going through, and a lot of them were like, we'll just get on meds. And I was like, well, do I have postpartum depression? And they were like, well, yeah, sure, if you think you do. And I just didn't really, that didn't sit very good with me. I was like, well,
do I or do I not? Now I know that I did because I'm past it. And so I know that like I was in it and now I'm not. I can tell the difference. But I also learned about some of the drugs that were recommended to me. Well, first of all, I have a really hard time swallowing pills. So it would have been like work. Like I grind them up and put them in applesauce and stuff. So I really try to avoid pills when I can. But looking into it too, I found out that some women, after they got off this medication, which I can't even remember what it is now, but they would get off the medication and be suicidal. So I was like, well, I'm already suicidal right now, so I don't really need to increase that later on. I don't know. Anyways, I know for a lot of women it helps a ton. And so if that feels right for you, you should definitely do it. But for my situation, I just didn't feel good about it ever. So the things that I did do, one of the big things when I hit a breaking point, I just told my dad, actually, because he's very good at kind of like organizing things. I was just like, I can't think about anything logically or correctly because I'm so tired. Like my vision would be foggy sometimes because I was so tired with getting up with the baby all night, you know, on top of feeling the depression, which I think they feed off each other. Lack of sleep is just, I never realized how important sleep was until I wasn't getting what I was used to. Anyways, I was just like, Dad, you need to figure something out for me for nights. And so what he organized was my mom and my mother-in-law, they would take one night a week. So 2 of the 7 nights in a week, they would be here in the night and they would take care of the baby. And I would just get up twice in the night to pump, and I would make sure that those were spaced out, giving me like trying to get like a 4 to 6 hour stretch somewhere at least once in the night kind of a thing. And that was huge because getting that cognitive function from being able to sleep was huge. And my husband, he had to work, like I was saying, so like I really didn't want him to be the one doing it. And I would just feel guilty in the night if, you know. But with my mom and my mother-in-law, like they would go into the living room and then we'd put the bassinet in the living room, so like I couldn't hear the baby. Like my husband wouldn't have to get up. I guess he could have slept on the couch, but anyways, he was actually a couple times my husband did do the night or part of the night, but for some reason I just felt bad for him having to do it, just because his workload was so hard at the time too. It was just like, of course it was crazy when it was crazy for me. He was going through crazy stuff too, so I felt a lot better when my mom or my mother-in-law would come. Anyways, so they did that for 2 months, and that helped me a lot. So them coming, my husband working from home. I also talked to a health specialist, probably closer to the 3 or 4 months. I finally decided, okay, I don't think the meds are for me. I'm gonna just talk to like more of like a natural, holistic type person, health specialist. And I found out, you know, kind of deficiencies that my body had, and so started taking a lot of supplements. And it was a lot for a while, and then eventually like I came down off of it. But your body is so depleted after you have a baby, you know, you've given so much, and so to get all the nutrients and vitamins and minerals and everything that you need back, it's a hard thing. I've heard that it takes 2 years to like totally recover from having a baby. So I just started taking so many supplements. I also started drinking a gallon of water a day. That was huge to help too, just to make my body work and do things. And I was breastfeeding, and so just getting enough water in, like that was huge. And then daily walks, getting sunshine every day, getting physical activity of daily walks. Even still, like we do not miss a day. We walk for 40 minutes every morning, rain or shine. If it rains, we might walk around the track at the gym. Oh, my baby's crying. Just a minute. she's pretty good at getting herself right to sleep, but she cried out for a minute. And one time she had her blanket or her sleep sack pulled up over her head because she plays peekaboo in her bed by herself sometimes in there, and she couldn't get it off. So anyways, I had to check make sure she's okay, but she's good. Yeah, so daily walks outside, huge for sunshine, getting that vitamin D, and this the physical activity. Oh man, like it helped heal my body from the C-section. It also is just like I would a lot of times be like crying nonstop, and I just like couldn't turn it off. But usually by the time we'd been walking for like 10-20 minutes, I could rein it in. Like it just really was, I don't know, healing, soothing, whatever, to get that movement, that exercise, the vitamin D. And like my husband would come with me, we would just talk and walk. And yeah, we still do it today, and it's one of my most favorite times of the day. Every morning we go on a 40-minute walk as a family. It's not always 40 minutes, but that's the goal, because our little 2-mile loop is 40 minutes. But yeah, it's been so healing for my soul and so good for my health. And then I also worked on my relationship with God a little bit. I've always been pretty religious, pray, read scriptures and stuff like that. And I just really worked on trying to connect with God and let go of anything that I thought about raising a baby, and just tried to, you know, like he's the master father, you know, he's perfect father, and just tried to really listen to God and trust in him more and pray less. You know, first the prayers were really like I was just so broken, you know, and just like, God, like how could you have let me be a mom when I might cause some trauma in this baby because of how I feel. And then thought about all the foster moms, you know, all the foster kids that I taken care of and worked with. It's like God doesn't send babies to perfect people, you know, but he does provide. And my support system was a huge part of that. And so trying to pray in a way like, okay, this is my situation, you know, I didn't choose to have to go through this, but I am. But you know how to heal me, Lord. You know how to help my baby even when I feel like I can't. You know, strengthen my husband so that he can keep changing more diapers because I just can't, you know. And it was a good experience for me connecting with God through, over this, and having a closer relationship with him after it all. And then I also wrote down affirmations, little sentences, positive things, and I posted it on my wall, and I would read that at least once a day. And my affirmations would be things like, she won't be little for long. I'm a good mom, and you know, I can do this. I would say she's a great sleeper, you know, just positive things that I was hoping for and wanting. And those are the things that I do think made the difference. And at about 6 months, almost right after she turned 6 months, she started sleeping through the night. And so all like the gentle sleep training that we were trying, it just eventually just clicked. And I do also think that was a huge part of it. Being able to get sleep was just a huge help. And I was starting to feel better from doing a lot of these things, I think. And like I said, things have never been better. Like the last 5 months have been incredible. Like I've really enjoyed being a mom. I've found a rhythm, you know, and it's great. And so anyways, I just wanted to share these thoughts and feelings today, in case it would help another mom, in case it would help people trying to support, you know, a friend or a sister, somebody who's going through this. It's really hard to explain it at the time, and hopefully some things I've said now will help you understand your family member or friend. And I also think part of this has been hopefully healing for me to talk about. You know, we don't really talk about these kinds of things, but hopefully sharing a little bit, getting it off my chest a little bit as we're hitting this year mark and the feelings are coming back up again. Hopefully this will be good for me too. So anyways, I hope this was helpful. I know as a society, as communities, as families, we can keep working on helping each other through these kind of things, and it'll just keep getting better for future moms. But I also know too that humans need hard things, and that's part of why we're on Earth, is to go through hard things and to learn and grow from those things. So I'm very grateful to be past all that. Would I want to do this again? I never wanted just one kid, but this was very hard to go through. So we'll see. But for now, we're just going to be grateful with where we're at. So thanks for watching.